Hello, I'm Logic Bunny, and come with me down the rabbit hole of knowledge. Have you ever stopped to wonder what the future holds? What if I told you that the future isn't some distant, far-off dream? What if I told you it's already here? Think about it. Self-driving cars navigating city streets, AI assistants anticipating your every need, the thrill of space travel becoming more accessible, and holographic displays bringing information to life in ways we never imagined. These aren't just concepts from science fiction movies anymore. They are real, they are being developed, and in many cases, they are already in use. But what if I told you that most of what you see is already in development, or even here? It's an exciting time, isn't it? My mission is to explore the mind-blowing innovations that are changing the world right now, and to give you a glimpse of what's just around the corner. We're talking about technologies that will reshape how we live, work, and interact with each other, the planet, and even the universe. Why is this important? Well, it's simple. Understanding these technologies is crucial. No matter what path you choose in life, these innovations will touch your world. Whether you dream of being a scientist, an artist, a teacher, or anything in between, the future is being built now, and it's being built with technology. So buckle up, because we're about to take a journey through the incredible world of future tech. Get ready to have your mind expanded. Get ready to say, wow. All right, let's dive into the world of artificial intelligence. You hear the term everywhere, right? AI is in the news, in movies, and even in your pocket. But beyond the hype, what is an I really? And more importantly, why should we care? Well, in its simplest form, artificial intelligence is about teaching computers to think and learn like humans. It's about creating machines that can perform tasks that typically require human intelligence. Things like understanding language, recognizing patterns, and making decisions. So how does it work? Think of it like this. Imagine you're teaching a dog a new trick. You show the dog what you want it to do, you reward it when it gets it right, and you correct it when it makes mistakes. Over time, the dog learns to perform the trick reliably. Machine learning works in a similar way. We feed computers vast amounts of data, and they learn to identify patterns and make predictions. One of the most exciting areas of AI is deep learning. It's inspired by the structure of the human brain. Deep learning uses artificial neural networks, which are complex systems of interconnected nodes that process information. These networks can analyze data in ways that were never before possible, allowing AI to recognize images, understand speech, and even generate creative content. Now, let's look at some examples of AI in action. You see it every day, even if you don't realize it. Personalized recommendations on streaming services, AI-powered tools that can help diagnose diseases, and even AI art generators that create stunning images from simple text prompts. Amazing, right? Here's a quick quiz. Is this AI? A spam filter? A voice assistant? A self-driving car? The answer, all of them. These are just a few examples of how AI is already integrated into our lives. But as AI becomes more powerful, it's important to consider the ethical implications. One major concern is AI bias. If the data used to train AI systems reflects existing societal biases, the AI will likely perpetuate those biases. This can lead to unfair or discriminatory outcomes. Another concern is job displacement. As AI automation becomes more sophisticated, some jobs may be at risk. It's crucial to think about how we can prepare for these changes by focusing on education and training in new skills. Finally, responsible AI development is essential. We need to ensure that AI systems are developed and used in ways that are fair, transparent, and aligned with human values. This means creating guidelines and regulations, and also fostering a culture of ethical awareness among AI developers and users. So, as we move forward, let's ask ourselves, how can we harness the power of AI to create a better future? It's a question we all need to consider. Did you ever dream of going to space, of seeing Earth from above, of walking on the moon? For many of us, that dream started in childhood. What if I told you that it's becoming more accessible than ever? Space exploration is undergoing a revolution. And it's all thanks to advancements in rocket technology. For decades, space travel was dominated by government agencies and expensive, disposable rockets. But things are changing now. Companies like SpaceX and Blue Origin are leading the charge with reusable rockets. Imagine this. Instead of building a new rocket for every mission, these rockets can launch, return to Earth, and be used again. This is a game changer. It drastically reduces the cost of space travel. Let's take a look at a side-by-side comparison. On the one hand, you have the traditional rockets. They were powerful, but also complex, expensive, and single-use. On the other hand, you have the new generation of rockets. They are designed for reusability. They're more efficient, and they're driving down the cost of getting into space. So, what is the most exciting thing about space exploration? Is it discovering new planets? Is it the potential for resource extraction? Is it the scientific research? Or is it something else entirely? The possibilities are truly more. We're talking about space tourism. Imagine taking a vacation to the International Space Station or even the moon. We're talking about lunar bases, permanent settlements on the moon that can serve as a stepping stone to further exploration. And we're talking about Mars colonization, the ultimate goal of establishing a still-sustaining human presence on another planet. But these ambitious goals also come with significant challenges. There are the technical hurdles. We need to develop new technologies to overcome the harsh conditions of space. There are the financial challenges. Space exploration is expensive, and there are the ethical considerations. So, what do you think? Are we on the cusp of a new era of space exploration, or are we just beginning to scratch the surface? The future of space tech is waiting. What if you could control technology with your thoughts? Imagine a world where you could move objects, communicate with others, or even play video games. All with the power of your mind. Sounds like science fiction, right? Well, it's not as far off as you might think. We're talking about brain-computer interfaces, or BCIs. These are systems that allow you to communicate directly with a computer using your brain activity. It's a fascinating field, and it's rapidly evolving. So, how do BCs work? Well, it all starts with electrodes. These are tiny sensors that can detect the electrical signals produced by your brain. These signals are then translated into commands that a computer can understand. Think of it like this. Your brain is sending out a stream of electrical impulses, and the BCI is like a translator, converting those impulses into actions. Let's use a simple diagram to explain this further. The electrodes pick up the brain signals. The signals are processed by a computer. The computer interprets the signals, and then the computer carries out the desired action. Now, let's look at some real-world examples. BCIs are already being used in medical applications. For example, they can help people with paralysis control, prosthetic limbs, or communicate with others. BCIs are also being used in gaming, allowing players to control characters and interact with virtual environments using their thoughts. Incredible! So, what would you do with a BCI? Would you use it to enhance your gaming experience? Would you use it to help others? Or would you use it for something else entirely? Let me know in the comments. I'm curious to hear your ideas, but as with any powerful technology, there are ethical considerations. One major concern is privacy. BCIs collect incredibly sensitive information about your brain activity. We need to ensure that this data is protected and not misused. Another concern is security. We need to prevent unauthorized access to BCIs, which could potentially lead to hacking or manipulation. And finally, there's the potential for misuse. BCIs could be used for purposes that are harmful or unethical. We need to develop guidelines and regulations to prevent this. The possibilities are endless. What if we could cure diseases at their source? What if we could eliminate genetic conditions before they even have a chance to develop? It might sound like something from a science fiction movie, but it's becoming a reality. Thanks to the incredible power of gene editing. Gene editing is a revolutionary technology that allows us to modify the DNA of living organisms. It's like having the ability to rewrite the code of life, and it has the potential to transform medicine, agriculture, and even our understanding of the world. One of the most exciting gene editing tools is CRISPR. Think of CRISPR like a pair of molecular scissors. It allows scientists to precisely target and cut specific segments of DNA. Then, the cell's natural repair mechanisms kick in, and scientists can either disable the gene or replace it with a corrected version. Let's use a simple analogy. Imagine you have a document with a typo. Gene editing is like being able to find a typo, cut it out, and paste in the correct word. That's the basic idea behind CRISPR. So, what can gene editing do? Well, it's already being used to treat genetic diseases. For example, scientists are working on using gene editing to correct the mutations that cause cystic fibrosis and sickle cell anemia. Gene editing is also being used to develop disease-resistant crops. This could help to increase food production and reduce the need for pesticides. What are the potential benefits and risks of gene editing? What do you think? Let me know in the comments. I'm curious to hear your thoughts. But as with any powerful technology, there are ethical considerations. One major concern is safety. We need to ensure that gene editing is safe and that it doesn't have unintended consequences. Another concern is accessibility. We need to make sure that gene editing technologies are available to everyone, not just the wealthy. And finally, there are the potential long-term effects of altering the human genome. We need to think carefully about the implications of making changes to our DNA that could be passed down to future generations. The future of gene editing is waiting. How can we use technology to save the planet? It's a big question, but one that's becoming increasingly important. Fortunately, there are many exciting innovations emerging that offer real hope for a greener future. We're talking about sustainable tech. Technologies that are designed to reduce our impact on the environment and promote a more sustainable way of life. One of the most important areas is renewable energy. Instead of relying on fossil fuels, we can harness the power of the sun, the wind, and the earth. Solar panels convert sunlight into electricity. Wind turbines use the wind to generate power. And geothermal energy taps into the heat of the earth. Let's use diagrams to better illustrate this. Solar panels capture the sun's rays. Wind turbines harness the power of the wind. Geothermal plants tap into the earth's heat. These technologies are becoming increasingly affordable and efficient, and they're helping to reduce our reliance on polluting energy sources. But sustainable tech goes beyond just renewable energy. There are electric vehicles, smart grids that can manage energy consumption more efficiently, and innovative waste management systems that can turn trash into valuable resources. So, how can you contribute to a sustainable future in your daily life? What steps can you take to reduce your carbon footprint? Let me know in the comments. I'm eager to hear your ideas. The challenges of climate change are significant, but the good news is that there are many talented people working on solutions. Innovation and collaboration are key. We need to continue to develop new technologies, share knowledge, and work together to create a more sustainable world for all. The future is waiting. So, we've explored some incredible technologies. We've seen how AI is transforming the world. We've gazed at the stars. We've delved into the human mind. We've looked at the power to rewrite life's code. And we've examined the innovations that are helping to build a greener future. These technologies have the potential to revolutionize every aspect of our lives, from how we work and play to how we interact with the world around us. But remember, this is just the beginning. The most important thing is to stay curious, ask questions, keep learning. The world is constantly evolving, and the more you know, the better equipped you'll be to navigate the future. Where can you learn more? Well, there are countless resources available. Explore websites, watch documentaries, and subscribe to educational channels. The more you explore, the more you'll discover. The future is being built right now, and you have the power to shape it. By understanding these technologies, asking questions, and staying curious, you can be a part of the incredible journey. So, embrace the future and never stop exploring.